The Creatures are a YouTube gaming Goliath, well known for their crazy office antics and gameplay content. Well, they were until things started going downhill.
Unfortunately, we're going to be parting ways with Chilled and Junk due to conflict of interests and opinions, and also just their specific personal situations. So,
as of now, going forward, I am no longer a member of the Creatures.
Long story short, I'm retiring from the Creatures.
The decision was to leave the group.
I have left the Creatures as of this video.
We are formally no longer with the Creatures at all.
We are officially announcing that the Creatures are coming to an end.
The Creatures, as a group, are closing their doors and archiving their channels. Many of the different creatures have gone off, either for their solo careers on YouTube or to form new groups with their friends. Today we'll be taking a look at the Creatures, who they are, and what went wrong. My name's Gio, and this is the FailTrain Breakdown.
1, 2, 3, go!
It all starts back in 2009 when founding member Kutra, or Jordan as we'll call him in the video, first met Z-Royal Viking, Junkyard, Chilled Chaos, Spoon, and Gassy Mexican. These different YouTubers come together and start playing together, recording their escapades for the entertainment of their fans. The term creature begins being used. In 2010, with the growth and popularity of the show Creature Talk, Spoon introduces AFKAnthony, or James, to the group. Later that same year, Seamus guest stars on Creature Talk after being spammed by the group. Their playthroughs and podcasts together begin growing a fan base, and each of them stand on the precipice of what could essentially become a YouTube gaming boy band. It won't be until 2011 when Seamus officially becomes a member of the group, with Slyfox guest starring on Creature Talk and becoming an official member by episode 10. This year was also the introduction of Alex, or Immortal HD, as he guest stars in Creature Talk and also becomes a member. On April 6th of that year, the TheCreatureHub channel was created, officially marking the start of the group. Along with the announcement of the channel comes the announcement that Chilled Chaos has decided it's best to leave. Many believe his main reason for leaving was due to a small feud between James and himself, with Junkyard being asked to leave as well. In 2012, the infamous Creature House is formed, with James, Seamus, Dan, and Gassy coming to live in the home located in Colorado, with Jordan living nearby in his apartment. Gassy Mexican decides to move into his own apartment with his girlfriend rather than continue living in the Creature House, which, as he put it, was like living with a bunch of people who had never shared housing with others and lacked respect for their housemates. Later, Gassy was voted out of the group, stemming from Jordan and Dan not liking his unwillingness to live in the house. By the end of the year, the Creatures had moved yet again to another house after the end of the lease. This year was a pivotal one for the Creatures, as a lot of their best content was made during their time in the Creature Houses, and forming the bulk of their live-action content audience. In 2013, Spoon, Seamus, and Slyfox decide to join the crew in Colorado. The TheCreatureHub reaches 500,000 subscribers, with Alex finally becoming a full and reoccurring member on the hub. Dan moves out of the house, and the group continue their shenanigans. Overall, this year was somewhat drama-free, with different individuals and channels growing and becoming more and more popular. This, in my opinion, was the prime time of the Creatures before their office escapades. They continued to focus on the content the fans loved and work together rather than against each other. However, 2014 would bring some big changes that would end up spelling the end for the Creatures. In 2014, the Creatures move out of the house and into an apartment complex, which would be the last Creature office for many of the members. Spoon announces that although he isn't necessarily leaving the Creatures, he would be moving back to Utah. Then, Spencer enters the fray. Spencer quickly becomes a leading member of the Creatures and was featured more and more prominently. The fans began to grow tired with him. We'll talk more about him later on. Dexter Manning, a famous YouTuber by his own right, becomes a member of the Creatures during RTX 2014, and becomes a reoccurring member on the hub, although oddly silent and off to the side. Later on, we would find out that Dan and Jordan have been somewhat censoring him and keeping him out of videos, leading to his departure. Slyfox announces his departure due to family issues in July, and Kevin, a friend of the different Creatures, comes in as a new member, moving to Colorado and joining the others in the office. Intern Joe, Artist Joe, and Stephanie begin working with the Creatures. After more and more creatures started to leave the company for personal reasons that had nothing to do with company's business decisions, the interns and new employees took the spotlight from them, and the fans of the channel started to get a little mad, asking for creatures that weren't currently in the office to be in more videos. In 2015, Dex officially moved into the office along with the main hub channel hitting 1 million subscribers, and Aaron was introduced to the group. Later on, Seamus and Kevin both decided to leave the creatures, with Kevin stating that working with the group in the office environment was outside of his comfort zone. Seamus is suspected of growing tired of the way the group was run, becoming stressed out and needing to leave. Many assume it had something to do with Jordan's management style. For a while, the hub channel consisted of live-action videos where the interns and the creatures would just fuck around in the office. Whether it be things they bought or toys they wanted to review, gameplay videos took a back seat. The latter involved a lot of destruction, whether it be toys or the office itself. It got to the point where it was happening in a good majority of the videos until it got tiresome. Fans asked for more gameplay and less live-action destruction. And even though they got it, there was very little communication between the company and the fans on the issue. The Creatures channel and the creatures themselves stayed quiet about these issues and didn't communicate with the fans on most occasions. They let these issues fester and didn't address them. Spencer specifically was not exactly a fan favorite, in fact quite the opposite. A lot of the complaints of the Creatures videos kept stemming from him, and a lot of the fans blamed him for the crappy content. Some people were just plain off annoyed with him and wanted to see him leave. 2016 rolls around, and although pieces began falling off beforehand, the real collapse began this year. Steph, who was hired back in 2014, had supposedly signed a contract not to date a member of the office, and after a fling with James had ended up dating Jordan. This obviously had created a bit of beef between James and Jordan, both of them being visibly impatient with each other in videos during this year. Dex ended up leaving this year as well, being quite upset with how the creatures tried to make him more PG. Before we get into the big news of this year, here's the positive. The creatures officially became a part of the Let's Play family, joining Rooster Teeth and merging their websites. But this was quickly overshadowed by the announcement that came just a few weeks later.
Very obvious, I guess, as it has been for a long time, I guess, a good bit. At least 2 months, probably. We are formally no longer with the creatures at all. Technically, that's been a thing for the past 2 months. There's no relation to Calchop and the creatures. They're completely separate.
Alex and James, along with intern Joe and Aaron, announced their departure from the creatures to form a now extremely popular channel, Calchop. A vast majority of the fanbase quickly migrated over to the new channel, as Alex and James brought back a lot of the content that fans loved, without abusing them and tiring out the fans. The noticeable drop in views for the creature channels sent a very strong and clear message: give us what we want, or lose our support. During the same year, Z-Royal Viking departed the creatures, joining Chilled Chaos and Gassy Mexican in the Derp Crew, a splinter group founded by Chilled Chaos after his departure. From 2016 rolling into 2017, major changes occurred. The remaining creatures depart the office, no longer needing such a large space for such a small number of people. Aaron ends up leaving Calchop, and Artist Joe departs the creatures. The end was nigh, and when Rooster Teeth put all the creature merch on clearance, it was obvious to everyone what was about to happen.
We are officially announcing that the creatures are coming to an end. And this is this video is mainly a couple reasons. One of which being just rampant speculation and talk going around after the panel debacle.
On July 13th, 2017, the creatures were officially disbanded. Their final video reeked of an unapologetic Jordan and a very upset Dan. In his own video, Dan visibly cries on screen over what he feels was a tragic end to a channel he very much cared about. While in the exit video, Jordan comes close to almost bragging about already having a job set up. Hindsight is 2020, and looking back over the history of the creatures, it almost mimics a Greek tragedy. You had a group of friends who got together and had fun, and after making a profit, the business side of things ended up turning the managers against their friends, losing friendships and eventually the business itself. The TheCreatureHub is now an archive channel, and all of the members are off either in their own groups like the Derp Crew or Calchop, or simply doing their own thing. I will remember the creatures as they were, an entertaining group of people whose shenanigans and playthroughs put a smile on my face. but let them be a warning to anyone who thinks of turning their successful YouTube friendships into a business. Don't become the next creatures. Become something better. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. A lot of the videos here were confident of YouTuber AFKAnthony, who has chronicled a lot of the major drama and updates with the creatures. As for this channel, it's still very small and young, and a simple subscription or a like goes a long way. If you enjoyed the content, share it with a friend and let me know down below what you'd like to see next. My name's Gio, and this is the FailTrain Network.